It's Tuesday, 12. I need to go. I have less than a half hour before I have to go pick up the kid. I'm at the Far Coffee Shop. I'm feeling better today than I have been. I did a social media post and I took care of some Christmas stuff I needed to do, and I've been working on the header art. So this is the rough I had sent that was approved, and I went in and started inking it, and then I realized, you know what, some of this stuff I need to finalize the details before I go into inks. And to be clear, I might still ink this traditional. I'm calling it inks, but it's sort of digital pencil. So I've been going in using reference to make sure like these are the correct patterns. I was much more strict with the head and the body than I am with the arms because the twisting and stuff, and it looks on model much more than it did. And so I got to tighten up some of the jets and a few other things. And then once I have this all done, then I may or may not go back in and ink on top of it, or I might just convert it to black, and then I'm gonna print that out and ink it traditionally so that I'll have a piece that I'll then scan in and color. And my goal is to have this done by the end of the week. Meanwhile, earlier I did a Mecha Godzilla, which I either showed before or I will show now if I haven't. And then by the end of the month, I need to get done the sketch cards. I just had the person who commissioned them ask me for an update, and I feel bad because it's been taking forever. And they are like top of list, but two things, this bumped it because this is for a company that had really short deadlines, so I kind of have to do this right away, whereas my commissions, thankfully, are more flexible, which sometimes works to their disadvantage because then they get bumped a little bit. But the other thing is, I'm at the point where I need to be at my drawing table in my office at home to work on it. Whereas with stuff I'm working digitally, I could do it anywhere. I could do it at a coffee shop. I could do it when I'm picking up the kid from school. I could do it in between stuff downstairs, just anytime. So anything where I actually have to sit at the table, sometimes it's weird because I'll be working. I'll be putting work out and stuff won't be getting worked on that needs to be worked on because I haven't had a chance to sit at my desk. And that's what's going on with sketch cards right now. But I did tell them I'll have it done hopefully by the end of the month. So once I finish this, hopefully by the end of the week, then I'll work on that. And then I have 2 other commissions, neither of which need to be done by the end of this month. So what I'll probably do is bounce back to the Horror Ray 4 and then do those 2 commissions and then see where I'm at. Pickled beets, pickled onions, and pickled eggs. A balanced lunch. Hanging out with the kid, and I was about to do some laundry, and I was like, why don't we put on a Christmas special? And she was playing Pac-Man, was like, is there a Pac-Man Christmas special? And I was like, I don't know, I'll look. And I found it on YouTube, 1983, Pac-Man Christmas special. We're going to check it out now. It's an old one. You ready?
Garfield!
There's Garfield, yeah. I think it's a milk commercial. What did you think it was?
Dunkatina.
Oh, yeah.
That would be a good time for a between-meal snack. Power pellets, that is.
Whoa. What's he gonna do now? What the heck? Eggnog cappuccino. Turns out the person who's doing the wallpaper is coming to do it today, which was not planned. They called early in the morning. I wanted to come at 9:30, so I dropped off the kid late, only by like 30 seconds. We watched the gate close and then had to go check in. And then I had less than an hour, so I went to the coffee shop and they had an eggnog cappuccino. So F you, Starbucks, I don't need you anymore. And then I did a 23-minute sketch of the Pac-Man villain from the Pac-Man show that the kid and I were watching yesterday. Now I'm gonna go in and kind of get set up in my office and wait for the wallpaper person to come and then get back to work on the packaging job I have. It's about 10 to 12. I did a warm-up sketch at the coffee shop. I did a little stuff around the house. I need to package up 2 packages, I just realized. I finished the digital pencils for the packaging, and I just made a printout that this could be digital, but I'm deciding to make the artwork analog, A, because I just want to do something analog, and B, because potentially I could then sell that for additional profit, prestige, fame, fortune, and everything else. Meanwhile, I did have to come home today, which is fine because I'm working in the office because another vendor came back to finish up some work they started the other day. So I've got about 40 minutes before I got to pick up the kid. Going to my mom's today. I'll probably be working on the iPad a little bit there. I won't be able to do any of the analog stuff. Maybe I'll work on the logo for this because I have a rough, and I'm not going to do that analog. I'm going to do the monster kaiju character analog and then put the logo on top of it. for a variety of reasons. It could be manipulated differently, whatever. And so I'm going to go get a drink. Then I'm going to package up the stuff I need, the Etsy sales, print sales, and see what time it is. And it might be time to go pick up the kid at that point. I don't know. Or maybe you know what I'll probably do if I still have time, I'll set up pre-production. I'll get the printout up on my late table, tape up some Bristol board, get the pens out, get ready to go, but maybe not actually start right now. My mom's house, drove to this little shopping area, went to a Ross where I didn't find anything for me or the family, but I found a figure for my buddy, the big dog, and I just dropped off 3 packages at the post office, got a receipt. It was actually a postal annex, so more important than I got a receipt. Now I'm gonna go to the Steedies, then I'm gonna look for a coffee shop and drink and draw. Last time I was here, I think it wasn't even Thanksgiving yet, and I heard Christmas music. Now it is Christmas, and so that's fine. Wait, is this a Christmas music? I don't know. Judy was a strikeout, going to the second Ross now. I'm feeling pretty okay today. I did not get a good night's sleep. I felt pretty bad last night. But yesterday, during the day, I felt okay, and I had like 3 caffeinated beverages and could barely stay awake. Today, I had a coffee in the morning. I haven't had one since, and I feel okay. So nothing makes sense, and there's no pattern to be discerned. So I might as well just eat pizza. So back home, did dinner, did everything. I actually, while at my mom's house, did work a little bit more on the package, and then I started working on super preliminary roughs for this other patch project I have, which isn't due till the end of January, beginning of February, but I had my iPad and it was just a thing I could work on, so I did a little bit of work on that. It's weird because sometimes I'll send somebody a rough and be like, oh, is this good? And they'll be like, yeah, and then it'll be a month before I start working on it, because like getting the roughs done is the easiest part for me, getting the concepts done is the easiest part for me. Meanwhile, I have a pile of mail. I was stressing about not getting the packaging done because it's a short deadline, but they didn't give me a number. They're just like, as soon as you can. And so I got the rough in that day, and they're like, great. And I'm like, I may have set the bar too high for myself here. And that was, let's see, 5 days ago. It was Friday, now it's Wednesday. And I did get a message today like, hey, just looking for some progress. And I don't know if they're like, is it done? Or I don't know what they're thinking. So luckily I have like what could be considered tight pencils or loose inks done as of today. And so I said, well, I have the digital pencils done. My plan is to get it done by the beginning of next week, meaning Monday. So I give myself a weekend. So if you need it sooner, let me know. Sent it. They said, looks great. Talk to you next week. So maybe it would have been fine, but I'm glad I had tangible, like progress that I had worked on it. So yeah, so I feel good about that. And then now I'm outside.
Taking a picture?
Mm-hmm. It's Thursday, early afternoon. Did not get good sleep. Was not feeling good last night. Got up, barely made it to school with the kid. Something I wanted to say yesterday. I was sending out those Etsy sales, and I promote my work on all my various social media, including Facebook, where I have an artist Facebook, and rarely I will promote it on my personal Facebook page, which I did. And I did get a friend buy something, which was cool. It's always mixed because I'm like, oh, good, they're supporting me. I'm like, oh, I don't want my friend's money. So what I usually end up doing is just throwing in a lot of freebies, which is what I did. Because I love that people I know want to support me, but I never want it to be out of some sort of sense of obligation. And I have mixed feelings about it, is all I'm saying. So I throw in extra. But anyway, that actually isn't what I wanted to say. What I wanted to say was I sold out of my Godzilla -1 crossover Jaws print, which I talked about this before. When I did it on social media, it blew up and got lots of attention, and then nobody bought the prints. And then like 6 months later, a year later, it started selling, and now it's one of my best-selling prints. That being said, I have a tendency to buy 10, 20, 30 prints, go to a show, think they're going to sell, and they don't, and I'm stuck with them. And so I knew I had less than 10 prints left going into the holiday season, going into my Etsy sale, and I sold through them. And then once I sold through them, I had 7 or 8 or whatever. Then I had one in my book, and I had another one for a display. So I pulled 2 or 3 more out that were just had other places that weren't in my normal print pile, that I could still good condition and could use and everything, just weren't allocated for sales originally. And then I'm like, I'm going to order 10 more, and it's going to take a week to get here, but we'll see what happens. And I put the order in, and then I posted, sales over, but I posted, hey, I restocked these, and I sold 3 within 2 days, which paid for all the ones I got. Maybe even got into profit. I'd have to sit down and do the money. But so I made a good business decision. I actually correctly predicted a need and didn't overorder and did it the right way, which is rare for me. So today I worked on a Godzilla warm-up sketch of Hanna-Barbera animated Godzilla, like 70s style, I think it came out. And I really need to work on my packaging, but I haven't, or anything else other than that Godzilla warm-up, which I almost wasn't even going to do that. I was going to work on other stuff, but I was just like sending out Christmas cards and remembering people that I forgot for the Christmas cards and looking up their addresses. And then I was like, oh, here's people I need to send presents to in New Jersey, which means I better get on that because we're getting close. And I was basically just doing a ton of Christmas stuff all morning other than that 40-minute sketch. Now it's about almost 11. I'm not feeling great, so I'm going to go home and either just relax and lay in bed or try to get some work done on the label. They'll see how I feel when I get home. I'll be better or worse, depending on how I feel when I get home. And then I got to pick up the kid, and we got to FaceTime, and I got to go to Target and a million other things later. I was supposed to record the Tidbit show with my friends tonight. My one friend, Mike, is not feeling well, which I feel bad about. But I canceled Action Activate this week because I feel overwhelmed because I'm falling behind on everything. Partially because I'm not feeling well, and when I'm not feeling well, I lose a lot of productive time. Partially I've been getting the kid to school later and losing time. I've just been losing time everywhere. And some of it's Christmas, which I love, but it's taking up time that, I normally would have. And so I canceled Action Activate, and I was thinking about canceling Tidbits recording, or at least saying I wasn't going to make it, but they were going to have a guest, and I felt bad, and blah, 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 blah. And then my buddy Mike was like, I'm kind of sick. I might have to cancel. And I didn't say anything. And Mike, if you're watching this, thank you. You took the bullet for me, buddy, because then eventually he's like, I'm too sick. I can't do it. I'm like, I guess we'll have to reschedule. In fairness, if he was going to soldier through, I was going to soldier through, but I was on the verge of canceling before he said he might not make it. But anyway, it got canceled. And so that's good because maybe tonight I can get some more work done. Yeah, I'm not complaining. I'm describing my situation. Generally everything's good, and I'm really happy with work. My health is, my ongoing health issues have been more difficult since I've been on this new medicine, and I'm hoping it'll even out or I'll get off of it. And then the holiday season, which is lovely, but the party and the presents and everything, it's just taken up. I've hit a point with a lot of things, but mostly with the kid, where I have like a set amount of free time that I was counting on, that I've been using properly to accomplish the things that I commit to. And this last month that has gone skewed. I'm still having some free time, but it's just not enough free time to get everything I need to get done. So I'm working on it, and it's fine, and I'm good. Are you good? I hope you're good. Keep trying, keep striving, knowing that we'll always be there for you. I'm trying to sing some lyrics. That's what friends are for. That's the song I'm aiming for. All right, I better get up. I'm rambling. Okay, updated digital pencils printed out here. Ready to transfer with my lightbox table onto some Bristol. About 20 minutes working on the inks. I thought this would be brighter. I'm having a hard time seeing some of the details. Well, I get right up on like that, I can, but with my eye I can't. But I was using mostly a brush pen, this one right here, and I'm not thrilled with it. I got some good texture on the fur, but I got some smears that I didn't realize till I turned off the light, and I think I went a little too heavy with the black there. I'm going to leave it, but there's a chance I might start all over, because, yeah. Hey, what's going on up there? Might look like Christmas lights, but there's something else amiss. I don't know what that is. It doesn't look like cops. Ambulance? Well, anyway, I'm a nosy neighbor now as I walk around. It's Thursday evening. I was just editing the last video. I've been behind on my videos. And I want to keep putting them up, and I'm not, like, it doesn't matter, and it doesn't. I'm not saying that there aren't some people that watch, and I appreciate those of you that do. Mike, Ox. But what I mean by that is, I don't think people, because I have such a low viewership, I don't think people really care if it goes up a day later or whatever. And also, my vlog videos lately have been getting 100 or less views on average, sometimes much less. Whereas this is beautiful. I love this. I wish it was like this all, but then it wouldn't be special. But anyway, I've been putting up short videos, art process videos that I'm reposting from TikTok, and they've been getting on average 1,000, let's say that. Always more than 100, sometimes closer to 2,000, always at least 1,000. But yeah, my health has not been great. Again, nothing life-threatening to worry about, but just impeding me. And then Chris, it is a fire engine. I don't know what's going on now. I'm going to stop recording as I walk by because I don't know what's happening here. I'm not going to record too much more, but just so I don't leave you hanging. I don't know what happened, but there was a fire truck, an ambulance, about 6 cop cars, tons of people, but it seemed like nothing happened. There was some kids, like teenagers, they were being interviewed. They were taking pictures of their neck and stuff. So my best guess is that there was a minor fight, or that there's a lot of e-bikes in this area that drive badly. Maybe somebody hit an e-bike. But it seemed the cops were just taking statements and stuff, and like nothing was really happening, and just everybody in the world came to that call. It's Friday morning. Late getting out of the house again today, just barely made it. Well, actually didn't make it. I had to go through the office because we were a minute late. Did not have a good night last night. Health-wise, sleep-wise. I'm feeling a little bit burned out, just generally, not real bad, but everything, just a little bit burned out, a little bit fatigued. And it's a bummer because I'm super excited about this packaging job, and I keep putting it off and keep not finding motivation. I worked on it yesterday, and the inks were terrible, and now I'm like, oh, well, I can't ink, and I shouldn't do that, and I should just clean it up digitally, but I don't want to do that either, blah, 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 blah. And I know part of it is normal artists, like, I had a difficult time with this one phase, so I'm terrible and I'm never going to draw again. Part of it is that, but part of it is just that I haven't had enough sleep in a while, and I'm feeling overwhelmed and unmotivated and yeah, whatever. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the local coffee shop and get a cup of coffee and do a warm-up sketch. I go back and forth in my warm-up sketches because they're good for social media. They're good for me because it's just a 30-minute sketch of a new subject matter, keeps it fresh, especially when I'm working on projects that take days, weeks, months, like the comic years. But it also is a time sink because it's a minimum of a half hour of drawing, but usually there's a little futz around before and after, and then the social media post, and we're looking at like an hour I spend a day doing that. And it's a good hour, but on the days when that's all I get done, then I feel bad. But anyway, I'm going to go do that. I'm going to go to the coffee shop, get a cup of coffee, do my warm-up, and then go home and try to ink the packaging art again and see how that goes. I'm back home. It's like 10:30. The day is just slipping away. It's been 2 hours since I dropped her off at school. Went to the coffee shop, got a coffee, still exhausted. Did my warm-up sketch social media post, and now I'm making another cup of coffee, which the caffeine probably won't help because I feel like it's fatigue, and caffeine doesn't help with fatigue. But regardless, anyway, I'm continuing to talk about, hey! And she broke her legs. I have my little space heater going. I love it. It's weird because it has cooled off significantly here, but the last couple days have been like 60 in the morning, 70 afternoon, maybe even getting up to 80. Yet inside it's still cold. Like, it's this weird thing where I'm wearing a hoodie and I have my heater on and I'm like, it's a little chilly in here. I'm having a hot coffee and it's kind of nice. I like it. And then I go outside and I'm like, I gotta take my hoodie off, and it's blazing hot. It's not blazing hot, but it's 78 and in the sun I can feel it burning me, and it's weird. Anyway, I'm back. I've got a little time. I'm gonna try to work on the packaging, which again, I'm excited about. It's like one of my dream jobs, and yet something wrong. Well, there's a lot wrong with me. All right, I got about an hour. I took out the grays and made this a little darker, so maybe it'll be a little easier to see over here. And last time I started with the brush pen. This time I'm gonna start with some microns and then go back with the brush pen to add the darks later. So we'll see how it goes. All right, about 20 minutes in, I've been using a micron 0.08 or 08, whatever, the one that has a 0 and an 8 on it. And I've outlined most of the kaiju. Now, this is pretty flat and a little bit, yeah, it's uninteresting. There's no variation of line, etc. But I'm much happier with it. There's no smears. I don't feel like I've made any mistakes. I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna use some smaller ones to do some of the finer details. And then I'll go in with the brush pen to add some heavy blacks and stuff. But at least I feel like this is a good starting point, unlike last time where I was about this far in and I basically started over. All right. It's been about an hour, feeling good. I was really worried about getting these teeth in. You can see I do this sort of fine detail digitally where I can really zoom in, and I can't do that as much. And then, like, theoretically, I'm using the light box, but yeah, some of the small details I'm just recreating, more like referencing my own drawing than actually, tracing, inking that way. But Yeah, there are things that I like the way they're coming out, and there are things I don't like the way it's coming out, but it's enough that I'm going to keep pursuing it after an hour. I feel like good progress, but I got to go up. I had some lunch and planned out some holiday stuff with Tech Advisor Urzuki and picked up the kid, and now we are at the park playing before going to the post office, drop off some Etsy sales, and then the pet store. And my hope, I'm feeling okay, not great, but I feel okay. So my hope is that I can do some more work later when we get back, and they are in independent play. Buds. Hello, buds. It's an independent play. I put some more time in. I went through and put with a 0.3. I did 0.5 for some of the interior and like some of this background stuff. 0.3 I used to put these little tick lines to indicate light and form on the sort of lattice work of their body. And then I went in with the brush and I did the neck and the head. I did the hair. It's tough because I struggle with wanting the hair and the fur not to be the most dominant thing, but the brush pen just works best for that texture. So then I immediately went in and started putting, I would say highlights, but I guess shadows, shadow lights, blacks, spotting, whatever on this. I need to do some more, and I need to put the fur here. This is the part I'm most worried about because if I'm too heavy-handed, it's going to mess it up. One thing that helps with the pressure is, even though this is original art on paper, I am going to scan it in and color in the computer. So this piece of art could get ruined, but I could always save it digitally for the package, that I'm sending into them. I'm not sending this into the company. Taking a little break. Got about a half hour left. Just so tired. I'm going to go back and try to get a little bit more done, but I'm also worried that I'm forcing myself to work on it, which is, I worry that I will slip up and make mistakes in the ink, which I don't want to do. So I'm going to go sit down and try to do a little bit more, but I might have to let it go for a while. Saturday morning, I ended up sleeping in later than I intended. I'm watching Robo Don't Know, which is a toy review channel. It's toy review, it's more toy news, and I'm watching the one from 2-3 weeks ago because I'm even behind on watching my toy videos. Can you hear this cat? She's a hat. What? You little butt. Are you telling her to get out of... Oh, it's about 11:30. Like I said, I meant to get up at 9. I overslept till 10. Not feeling good. Didn't get a good night's sleep. I ate a little small breakfast / lunch because it's a weird time, and watched, part of a YouTube video. I should work on that. Failing that, I should do some kind of warm-up sketch, some kind of get my art hand moving. Wasn't feeling that. Was going to do a review on this art zine box thing I got from a Kickstarter from my buddy Mike. I don't feel up to that. I don't even feel up to this. I'm going to play Fortnite, and hopefully I could... I don't even want to play Fortnite, but I'm going to play Fortnite, and hopefully I could shake myself into doing something. I'm in the office, at least. 30 minutes till 1 o'clock. What a weird way of saying that. I have not done any artwork. I played some Fortnite. I did have an Etsy order, which I packaged up and got ready to go. And then I opened up a Kickstarter from Mr. Mikey Dawson. Let me grab this over here for his zine box, which I have a separate video reviewing that. It was a Kickstarter reward. Good job, Mike. Thanks for the thing. And it's almost time for lunch, which I'm not super hungry for. But I guess I'm going to do that and then see, I guess, then the kid's going into independent play. I'll be on duty, but I'll try to get some art done at that point.
You should.
I like everything.
I'll check the chocolate.
So, not been feeling well. Did go out to the post office to drop off some stuff and then ran some errands as a family, which was nice, and it filled up the day, and we had a little good time out. Got back. Kid went into independent play later than usual, and I just didn't feel good and did a lot of laying on the bed and doing nothing. I got myself into the office, played around a Fortnite, and actually did do a little bit of drawing on this, like 15 minutes, but now I got to start making dinner, so on to that. This is probably a bad idea, but I already feel terrible, so I might as well make myself feel good in my mouth. All right, so I put in, I don't know, somewhere between 30 and 60 minutes, and I think the inks are done. I'm not thrilled with it. I'm having trouble. This is a problem I've had when I'm doing sketch cards, where I'm using microns and brush pens, and I don't know if it's just that I haven't done it in a while, or these are old, or the quality's changed, but I feel like it's not putting down the lines I want it to put down. And by that, I don't mean the normal thing of it's not coming out like I want to hit it, but I'm just trying to trace a line, and it'll only put ink on half the line, and then I have to go back, or I don't know. And I've tried buying newer ones, but I might have to reevaluate the way I do my inking, because microns used to be the guaranteed precision with like a flat line, and then I try to fix it up with the brush pen. But anyway, that's an aside. My mom is coming over at some point. I don't know when. Normally I'm on duty if I don't get help from the time the kid wakes up, which is 7-ish until like 1. I'll be on duty from 7-ish until whenever my mom shows up, at which point I will get this in some order. I will get this scanned and finish the digitals for the logo treatment, because I'm not doing that traditionally. And then I will color it and composite it and have that done by tomorrow. This was by far the hardest part. I'm still not 100% happy with it, but I'm happy that I finished it and I'm going to bed. It's 9 o'clock Sunday. Just finished a late breakfast. Had a little bit of a late start today in a good way. On the weekend, it's good to have a late start. My mom would be on her way or here by now, except that the kid is having pain peeing, so it seems like a UTI, which she's had before, bladder infection, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to go to urgent care, and hopefully they could look at her pee, give her some antibiotics, and get her fixed up. So I'm doing that now. I did have like a minute where I looked at my inked drawing, and I added a couple little lines looking at my rough, some black areas that I thought would be better, or the areas that weren't fill in black that would help separate it more. And I might go in with, not a whiteout pen, it's like an acrylic marker I got recently. I had one before, a Posca one that I've had like mixed results with. It's better than the ones I'd used before that were just like Pentel or Bic or whatever. I had this Posca marker, but it's a little bit dried out, but also somebody else recommended this one, Fly something. I'll show you later. My buddy McHank, who's a local artist, does a lot of stuff in the music scene. He recommended these to me, so I might try that to do some little detailing and maybe lighten up the black I had put on the fur on one hand. So when I'm able to sit down and work, that's what I'm going to do before I scan it, because I can clean it up digitally, but part of the idea was to have this original piece of art that would reflect what was used on the package as opposed to like a recreation, you know? So anyway, I'm waiting for her to get dressed and then we're going to go. Urgent care. Proof. I thought I heard something like beep. Did I hear bip? Bip? What was that? Beep. Ah, there it is. It's 12:30. Okay. My mom did come over earlier, but with all the stuff with the kid, she has a UTI, got her medicine, had to go out, do blah, 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 blah. And now I'm in a place where I can start to work, and I'm going to do that for a little while, but it's almost lunchtime and I am actually getting a little hungry, but I'm going to try to get some work done. I want to finish all the physical media and then see if I could scan it. And if I can't, I'll have to go out and scan it. That's kind of what I want to accomplish before I eat lunch. And this is done, but I'm just going to fiddle with it a little bit. I just spent, I don't know, 5 minutes. And mostly what I did was using, oh, that was the pen I was talking about before. This is Flymax acrylic, and it works pretty well. And I mostly went in and lightened up the blacks I put on the fingers and over here. And then I separated the building a little bit and one or two other little details. And I think this is done. Time to scan. Scanned in okay. I did a little bit of digital cleanup. Not too much. And I'm stopping myself because as I'm getting in, I'm like, oh, these look terrible. But actually this from here is actually even bigger than it's going to be printed. So I'm going to leave well enough alone and I'm going to come back and then do the coloring. About a half hour or so doing flats. Crank this on for my little tootsies. Yeah. Another hour in, I've been focusing on the shiny mirror part, and is to get the art and the coloring done today. It's about 5:30. I will have to stop for dinner at some point, not yet. And if I don't get the logo treatment done today, then that's what I'll be working on tomorrow. And that I could work on at the coffee shop here or wherever. I'm actually working on my Cintiq right now, which I usually don't do. I usually work on the iPad. But I was scanned it and I was cleaning it up, and I don't know, I just started working on the Cintiq. And it's funny because it's a nice newish Cintiq because my old one died about a year ago, and I barely use this now. When I had my old Cintiq that kept giving me troubles, I kept trying to use it instead of my iPad. Then I got used to my iPad. Then I got the new Cintiq, and this is like the most I've used it in a while. But anyway, I've been working for another half hour or so. It's coming along. I'm getting there. I am having trouble doing a color hold, which is when you take black ink line art and turn it to another color. I know how to do it on Procreate, really easy. I thought I knew how to do it on Photoshop. Kind of forgot, watched some tutorials. The way I thought I knew how to do it, it showed me other ways, and it's just not working. It's like coloring everything. And then I'm like, oh, I wonder if it's because there's a lot of noise on the scan, meaning like dirt or like subtle grays that I can't see because, you know, I'm used to drawing digitally and doing the color holds. I haven't done a physical picture that I then scan and do color holds. But now I'm like, oh, wait, how do I clean that up? And I'm like, oh, channels. But nope, channels is doing everything. And I basically just spent 15, 20 minutes trying to figure this out. Technological stuff, which is very frustrating. Turning off the heater. It's 30, 40 minutes later. Ordered a pizza. It's here. It's about a little after 7 there. The kaiju is mostly done. I might go in with like a little bit more color, but it's mostly done. I gotta finish up the mouth a little. Gotta put some shading on the ships. I figured out the color hold thing. Well, it's about 20 to 9. So it's been 20 minutes short of an hour, 2 hours. It's been close to 2 hours, getting on to 2 hours since I was working. Ordered my pizza, ate my pizza, said goodnight to the kid. Talked to my wife for a minute. Then I didn't feel good for a while. And then I did the cat litter and I loaded up the garbage cans, put them out on the curb. And now I'm going for a short walk and then I'm gonna go back and work some more. My goal, I think I said this, but my goal is to finish all the color on the artwork tonight, send it, and then say something along the lines of like, hey, I'm gonna finish up the logo tomorrow, which should be fine. And then that'll be what I'll do tomorrow. Unless, of course, I'm on a roll and I get done quicker or I have a burst of energy or whatever, in which case I will plow through. But I'm thinking I got an hour or two left finishing just the color. So I'm trying to be realistic. Yeah, it's funny. This project mirrors the way I feel about a lot of things I do. Like my comics, for example. I get real excited about my ideas. I like doing the layouts. I like doing the script. Then I start drawing it and I'm like, this is terrible. It's tedious. I suck at drawing. I'm embarrassed that I'm going to show this to people. What am I doing? I wanted to do this. Now I'm doing it. Why? I wanted this. And then it's done. And I'm like, hooray. I could show it to people at shows and give it to my friends and family and sell it online and have the Kickstarter. And this is great. And I feel so accomplished doing it. And I'm going through that same cycle with this, where this is something I've wanted. I finally got it. I was super excited. I watched the episode. I did the sketch. This is great. And then I started doing it. And I'm like, what's going on? I can't draw. Why did I want to do this? I'm terrible. Now, granted, there was other things in between, like not feeling well and holidays and stuff. But I'm not quite at the part where I'm like, yay, I'm happy again. But I can see it over the hill. It's over there. Because, in the next day or two, one way or the other, this will be done. And then I just sit back and, collect some money, but also sit back and wait for it to be printed on a card and come out on a toy and wish I had a copy of that toy and maybe see if I can get one discount. I don't know. We'll see. But regardless, I'll be happy that I did it and I'll be telling everybody about it on social media. And the average person that follows me watches my art process videos and sees the pictures I put up, but doesn't watch these. So the average person is going to be like, wow, he's been doing a lot of Ultraman card art and, warm-up sketches and all this stuff, and it really paid off, and he got to do that package. And that's 100% true. And I'll be like, look how excited I am. And they'll be like, he's so happy and excited, he's achieved one of his life goals. And that's 100% true. But they won't see any of this. They won't see any of the hand-wringing and the stomach-hurting and the insecurity and the everything else that goes along with it, which isn't everybody, which isn't every artist even, but it's me, at least right now. Maybe one day I'll not function this way. And I did give myself the added complication of doing it traditional, which I did not need to do. And we'll see if that pays off in terms financially or not. And I think doing some traditional art is not a bad idea, but I don't think it was a good idea to do it on this as far as like an exercise, as far as to keep sharp with that and stuff. And then the other thing is, I always forget that I don't understand color. I've been paid to be a colorist. I create things that have good color, but I don't understand color. I don't understand color theory. This goes back to me not understanding the fundamentals of art. Any of them, really. I've studied some of them, but I don't understand any of them. There's a lot of trial and error, a lot of brute force, a lot of trying to hit it 5 times, and then the 6th time, if I'm lucky, it goes in, and I don't really know why. Sometimes it goes in on the first time, lucky me. There we go. Decorations, more going up every day. We got Santa and Frosty and some lights, and is that a reindeer, I guess, and a pig and a big old rooster? Yeah, okay. Christmas rooster, Jesus rooster. I don't know what that is. Moving on. It's 12:40. I'm calling it a night. I'm done with the colors. I'm not 100% happy with them, but I don't know what else to do. And I'm reminding myself that the parts that I'm least happy with are going to be covered with the logo. So I'm gonna send them an email right before I go to bed saying, hey, here's, you know, the final art, unless you have any revisions, and I'll get the logo treatment done by tomorrow sometime. And that's, yeah, and then I'm gonna have a rough morning, gotta give the kids some medicine, get her to school, and then come back home and, I don't know, either load up on coffee and start working or take a nap. I'm not sure which, but I'm taking a big long nap right now. Well, not as long as I'd like, because it's almost 1. Anyway, yeah, good work me, tired me. You hear the garbage men. I hear the garbage people coming for the garbage. They sustain themselves wholly on our waste. That's not how that works. However, I am awake. It's Monday. I'm tired, but not as bad as I thought I'd be. I went to sleep around 2-ish. I had to get up once or twice in the night. So I had a broken 5 hours of sleep. Just gave the kid her medicine. Giving the cats their food and medicine. I got mottled lighting on my face. Yeah. Oh, what am I doing? I'm at Coyote Coffee, otherwise known as Montague Brothers Coffee, and I am working on the logo treatment. I sent the finished art to Planet X Asia, and now I'm waiting on their approval of that, and I have to get them this by the end of the day today. And what I'm doing, I based it on a font I found online, but I didn't purchase it or actually use it. I sort of redrew it, and then I warped it, and then now I'm cleaning up the warped version. Okay, I'm leaving the coffee shop. Not feeling great. Kind of like yesterday. I was feeling better earlier. I did a bunch of stuff. I did the basics of the logo treatment, which was sort of drawn up by hand. I was a little nervous about the stylization. Would it be readable? So I just showed it to a random person, well, a barista who I sort of know. And I'm like, can you read this word? And they're like, yeah, it's Spectre. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And then I'm like, well, here's a different S I did that I thought would be clearer. And they're like, nah, the first one's better, which is good because the first one was the one I wanted. I started preliminaries for the next commission I have to do, because it's inserting an original character Power Ranger into one of my previous prints. So I found that print, got the layers set up, and I started sketching their character just to make sure I could do it. I actually have to contact them to get the deposit. So I really shouldn't be working on it yet, but I was just sort of getting my ducks in a row. And then I did something else, which I forget. But now I'm going to go home and not feel good for a while. And then I need to, I think I talked about one of the things we got done with all the house stuff was we got wallpaper put up. And the person who did it did a terrible job to the point where we have to hire someone else to either fix it or scrape it off and do it all over again. And so I got a call from them. I got to call them back, maybe have them come out today or whenever they can, and deal with that, which is not fun. Also confirm my appointment. I have a dentist tomorrow, whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay, bye. Post office, dropped off a package. Yeah, once I got home, I did not feel well, and I didn't get much done. Talked to a vendor about the wallpaper and got this package ready to go, and that's it. So I need to get some more art done later. I managed to get this done while the kid was in independent play. It's Monday morning. So a while back, I was talking about 4 jobs I got recently, or 4 potential jobs. 1 fell through, which is fine. Of the 3 remaining, 1 is the packaging design, which I'm sort of done with. I'm waiting for approval, but I'm done, quote unquote. The next one I was going to do was a personal commission for someone's original character. They're not ready on their end until January. It's December. So push that back. The next project is a comic adjacent project for someone's indie comic that they want some artwork created ancillary for that. So that has just been moved up. But on top of those 3 jobs, I still have some outstanding sketch card commissions, which need to be done at the house. So I would be staying home to work on those today, except I have a dentist appointment. So I have to go out to the dentist after I drop off the kid. Then I'm gonna go get coffee and breakfast after that, and I will do preliminary work on the comics adjacent project. And then sketch cards will be later, tomorrow, whatever. Yeah, it's working out that some of the delays that are out of my control are helping my schedule. So that's good. All right, 9:42. I got a little blue butterfly stamp for the kid out of the prize box. Got my cleaning. I don't have to get any cavities done, which is nice. And I am about 5 minutes away from the far coffee shop because I am far from my house to the dentist. So I'm gonna go there and get some breakfast. I'm starving. I made myself a coffee in the morning, but I didn't even get to finish it. So I'm gonna get a coffee, I'm gonna get breakfast. I Oops, that's not where I go. I do need to get some work done, and I intend on doing that. But I also need to get some last minute Christmas presents for people across the country, and pay some bills, and coordinate with the vendor. And so like, I'm probably gonna do my social media like a warm-up sketch for social media. Then I'm going to take care of that kind of stuff, and then if I have time, I'll work on the comic project thing I was talking about, because that's not due until end of January into February. There's no rush. Back in the car. I have some time before I have to pick up the kid, but I finished what I set out to do in terms of real life stuff and Christmas stuff and doing my social media art post. And I don't have a lot of time, but I also, I forgot I have medicines and things I take that I forgot to take this morning. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, there's a Ross over here, which I never go to. I haven't had much luck with RossCon. See if I can find any awesome deals. Then I'm going to go home, get my medicine. And if I get home soon enough, I'm going to walk to pick the kid up, get a little exercise. It's a nice day out, and then continue from there. But I'm going to end the video here. This is Tuesday. Maybe I'll actually get it up today. We'll see. If you're watching this Tuesday, woohoo! If it's Wednesday, well, okay. If it's later than Wednesday, but you know. Bye. See you next time.